Texans have the lead going into the half, starting off the third quarter, and there's Donovan Wilson popping that bad boy out. Cowboys ended up doing nothing with it. I believe that is where Zeke was stuffed on 4th and goal. So Wilson strips Pierce. Diggs takes it back to the 28, stuffed on 4th and goal. I was fine with him going for it, and I guess I'm in the minority that I was fine with the call as well. I feel like Zeke was running physical yesterday. He was running hard. I was about to give him a star up, so I was fine. If they did something cute, we all get mad when they do something cute and take it to the outside and versus just go straight up the middle. When they go straight up the middle, we get mad that they don't do something cute. So I'm not going to be hypocritical about it. I'm not going to have this double standard. I was fine with going for it, and I was fine with 4th and goal straight up the gut.
Straight up the gut I'm fine with, but you got to spread them out, though. You got to spread the defense out. You can't have 11 guys right there knowing that they're going to run up the gut. You got to get these guys spread out and allow Zeke or Dak. I mean, when Dak does those, it's usually in that spot, best 2-point conversion play, right? You run your best 2-point conversion play, which a lot of times for this team is Dak running right up the middle.
Yeah, spreading things out in the gun, and then he takes a draw right up the middle. They've had a lot of success with that.
You got to spread teams out down there.
I don't have an issue with the exact call on 4th down. What I have an issue with is you called 4 straight running plays. That was my issue on 1st and goal. Like, change something up. Give me an RPO. Give me one of those play-action boots. You have a lot of success down there throwing to the tight ends a lot of times. Do something like that. Although, again, running up the middle, don't have a problem with. The Cowboys are 5th in the NFL in yards per carry when running up the middle. And so they've been efficient. And you were talking about
how bad the Texans' run D was.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought they got away from the run way too early. One of their big mistakes yesterday, I felt like, was they didn't run the ball in the second quarter. They just threw it. And that was an issue that I had. I think if they had, you saw the first drive, everything looked balanced. It looked good. And then, I don't know, something just almost seemingly got into their head. Now, the interesting thing is a lot of these teams script their first 15 plays. So did they script balance, and then when it got away from the script and they were just calling it, they were overreacting to things, overcorrecting? It's kind of what it felt like.
Here's the Kevin Hagelin poll question.
Ooh.
Cowboys win. Are you taking pleasure in that? Yes, a win is a win, or no, struggle with the Texans. What would you vote, and what do you think the Tolos voted?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I am taking pleasure in the fact that they won. So I'd say yes, a win is a win.
Okay.
No, especially when you couple it with the last 2 weeks. It's looking like a pattern. You got to fix stuff.
How do you think the Tolos voted, RJ?
This is Hagelin's Twitter, so it's going to be abnormally negative.
Leaning right?
It's going to be leaning. I'll say they voted yes as well.
You are correct. 66% said yes, a win is a win. 34% no, not taking pleasure, struggle with the Texans. I'd be voting with Bobby with a no. Some of the blind homers are very outraged with me, very ticked off. The box score readers, you may as well not even watch the game. You should just wake up in the morning and you should look at the final score and then talk about the game as if you watched it. Because that's how some Cowboy fans really respond. That's how they really react. We won. It's all that matters. Like, there's 3 hours of things that take place in a sporting event, in an NFL game, that should add a little bit more to your mind in terms of determining how your team played. And the last 3 weeks, I was the first one. Y'all were panicking and freaking out on this text and on these phone lines that were going to open at 8 after they lost to the Packers. And I was like, it's the NFL. Don't worry about it. Chill. Relax. It's fine. Minnesota, they're going to beat Minnesota. The Vikings were a fraud. Y'all don't say nothing to me when I was right about it. And now I'm worried because it's 3 straight weeks. You have 3 straight bad days or 3 straight bad weeks at work. That's a problem. That's a little bit telling. One day here and there, fine. One loss here and there, one bad performance. They were bad against the Giants. They were even with the crappy Colts, and you should have lost yesterday. You want to put your head in the sand? Put your head in the sand. You want to be naive and ignore it? Go ahead. I'm not going to. Because last year they had a second half downturn that you were pointing back to after they lost to San Francisco. So don't just completely erase last year, the Denver game out of your minds. But 66% said yes, a win is a win.
Yeah, when you look at you say last year. It's not just last year. There have been other seasons where they've played well and then they get into like the final stretch in December and they start having, wonky games like this, whether they win or lose. Yeah, and
senioritis.
And then it leads to you're out of the playoffs early. Like, I think it does matter how you win. Like yesterday I was saying, like, they got to beat down the Texans, and I got a bunch of like smart ass comments on Twitter about like, oh, this isn't the BCS, this isn't the CFP, this is it doesn't matter. A win's a win. It's like, no, it does matter. Like, if you're talking about like predictive for how your team is going to fare going into the playoffs, you need to beat teams like the Texans. You need to beat them bad. You can't let the Texans hang around. It says something about where your football team's at.
Look, there is something predictive about it. At the end of it, but there is. It's also true in any activity, be it your regular job. Or any sport, you are going to have days where you have to find ways to win when you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay to be off because everybody will be off. Nobody can ever be, have a great day every single time out. Even teams that go undefeated, even when the Patriots went undefeated, they had days where it was like, okay, they don't have their best.
Yeah.
Now, it was very few, but it's okay to win games like this.
Yeah,
you have to win games.
Yeah, but
like
you need
this.
to finish the sentence. But when do you start getting concerned when it's happened 3 straight weeks?
I would say I would start getting concerned is when they start losing games like this.
So you're just going to be an end results guy. See,
no,
I was not expecting
I'm
that from you.
not being an end results guy. I'm not being an end results guy. It was not a perfect game, and this is something that is there is a concern.
If they lost that game yesterday, you have a different opinion today?
Yes, a little bit.
If they convert 3rd or 4th and goal, or the Cowboys don't go 98 yards, you change your opinion?
There's a difference because then they didn't find a way to win, and that's concerning. It is a good thing they found a way to win this game.
What's the difference between the Cowboys the last 3 weeks and the Vikings the first 10 weeks of the season?
Good question.
It's a good question.
Now, the difference is 10 weeks versus 3.
Right, but the last 3 weeks, you're winning games the way the Vikings won games the first 10 weeks.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
I mean, some of the peripheral statistics will look different, but you're talking about games that they very easily could have and should have. Like, you can't keep winning. It's like the Rangers in 2016 when they had that unreal amount of one-run wins.
The Lions had double-digit comebacks in these games. Like that was
the Vikings.
I'm sorry, the Vikings. Yeah. The Lions. They lost. The Vikings had double-digit comebacks in these games.
Tolo said
fourth quarter comebacks where the Cowboys haven't had to have that.
Tolo said
yesterday they did, but not the previous 2.
Tolo said the only time that they haven't had double-digit leads this year against Tampa, Philly, and Houston. That's impressive. That's good. But 2 out of these last 3 games have been against garbage. And I'm being nice to the Giants. I'm not including them in that. Indianapolis and Houston. Garbage. And it's not like this is against contenders or over 500 teams, but fine. You don't have to worry about it.
I mean, look, this is the same fan base that was mocking the Eagles for almost losing to the Colts. If that's the case, then you should feel bad about almost losing to the Texans.
And we should write off. Well, we blew out the Colts, so it offsets.
Yeah, but that
cancels out.
Philly almost lost to the Colts in Indy. You were at home yesterday.
It was a road game.
The Eagles had back-to-back blips. They lost to Washington. They could have lost to Indy. But they've had back-to-back statements. They humiliated Tennessee 35-10, and yesterday they ended that game. Giants, Eagles, TV viewers were switched over to us at the beginning of the 4th quarter. That's how much they took care of business. So, okay. All right. Jerry Jones was asked how scary things can get if it's 60 minutes like this in the playoffs.
I know that there's 75,000 playing college football right this week or this season, 75. There'll be 400 of them drafted. Be about 150 of them left after they're drafted.
Here we go.
If they're on that football field, they're a good football player, and they can, as a team, beat you any day. Any NFL team can beat the other one. And so I was, like everybody, dismayed that we were giving them some turnovers. We felt that was one way, but I want to give them credit. Their defense really played well and really gave us probably what that score indicates.
Why is it?
This is why I tweeted back to J-Ron Curse as well, when Curse is like, someone else says it, that they can win the ugly games and the Cowboys do it, they suck. And I said, the difference is this is 3 straight weeks. That's my problem. It's just 3 straight weeks of lackluster football where you easily could have lost against scrubs. I'm fine once every here and there. The Green Bay thing, I didn't care about it whatsoever. But it's turning into a little bit of a pattern. Sorry, Bobby.
Why is it any given Sunday when you lose or when you almost lose a game to the 1-10 Texans, but like then it's just, and I get the stakes and everything else, but you lose to a very physical, very good San Francisco team in the playoffs, and it's like devastation, and we need to change it. Like, which I think that's the appropriate reaction.
People overreact.
But I think that's the appropriate reaction, though, when you lose a game like that to San Francisco. But that's what I'm saying, is that's a playoff game, and you have all this, oh my gosh, we need to change this. Okay, if you don't want to be in that position again, you need to kick the Texans' ass. That's what you need to do. You need to show that you're the team that can do that.
Truckwreck.com text line. Let's see. Fans are happy.
35% are not, according to Kevin Hagelin's poll.
This is such an entitled fan base. Cowboys will bow out in the first round. This is on the coaches for having the team prepared and motivated. We cared more about San Francisco as the playoffs. Guys, it's not 3 straight weeks. Dallas struggled but won. May have lost Steele. Vikings lost to the Lions.
Why isn't it 3 straight weeks? What am I missing?
Well, did you see the Indianapolis box score? I mean, come on.
Yes. And in a way, I hate to say it, I mean, Orlovsky, like, man, he was about to have himself a morning if the Cowboys didn't drive 98 yards. He was going to sit on there crowing and talking about how he was right by falling asleep and not even watching.
He still will.
He'll still do that. Yeah, he still probably will do it.
A lot of this falls on McCarthy. Cowboys played down to bad teams. They go in taking it easy. They're not prepared. You guys are reaching. The Giants game wasn't really that close, and they scored 54 against the Colts. 2 weeks before that, they blew out the Bears. The Eagles almost lost to the Texans, too.
Here we go. Pick apart the Eagles record where they clinched a playoff berth yesterday. That's what's real. That's what's funny.
Yes, a win is a win, but we should have known this was going to happen. Every time we expect the Cowboys to blow them out, they either blow it or make it close. I disagree with that. The Cowboys generally over the last 10 years have destroyed bad teams at home. For the most part. The Denver game last year, even though Denver wasn't a bad team.
Garrett won a lot of the games he was supposed to win, it felt like.
Yeah, when Jason Garrett's team played a really bad team, they owned them, man. They did. They dominated them.
Yeah, I mean,
like 34-7 was just like a general score.
Let me go see fan reaction on November 8th last year. Any given Sunday, anybody can lose to the Broncos. What was the reaction on December 13th after you squeaked by against Washington? Road victory, division victories are tough in the NFL, wins a win. And then let me find the reaction a month later when they lose to San Francisco. Burn it down. Okay, well, if you don't want to be in that position, show what kind of a team you are leading into the playoffs. This is not the time to play sloppy football.
Right. I'll say this, when you win a game where your quarterback gets outplayed, you do not apologize for that win. That's a hell of a, because your quarterback cannot get outplayed and win a game in the NFL very often.